All right. How did you feel the panel went? Was it informative enough? Did you get your message out?
Well, I got my message out, and I think the panelists all got their message out, but maybe we just like in the end ran a bit out of time, so that we could have brought these sort of messages together more than we did now.
What is your general feeling? Is there sort of a generation difference between, the grant makers who tend to be, older, as they said, who tend to have more resources, and then the young people who tend to use more of these new digital media?
Well, I think you could see it also from many of the comments, that the comments were very much on the concern side, whereas the speakers were talking more about the opportunities. I think it's not that black and white. Of course, there are concerns and there are great opportunities, but I think a lot of foundations, a lot of grant makers are very confused, and because they don't, it's a new area where they don't have a lot of expertise, so it's very scary. And I think it's the same it's not only grant makers, it's a lot of parents, a lot of teachers, governments, who sort of don't understand what's going on.
But do you think there's sort of light at the end of the tunnel that one day they might understand, or is it just going to be forever, something that the young people do and they feel they shouldn't really get engaged in?
No, but I mean, at this time it's this issue, but if you go back in history, there's always been situations where young people have certain message, or they're carrying their message in a way that doesn't come across to the older generations. So I think that it's just this issue, but I think light and I see light already, because I mean there's interest. The fact that grant makers forum like this organizes a 2.5-hour session on this issue is a positive sign, because it shows that people want to understand.
Is there a possibility of the pendulum sort of swinging too far to the other side, like what Noel was talking about when he said, well, if you don't have internet in what you propose to your grant, if it doesn't end up on the internet, some grant makers will see it worthless, whatever the value of the project on the internet then really is.
Well, I think the important thing is that foundations, what I was trying to say also during the discussion, is that foundations would get grant evaluators into their pool or into their team who have expertise on this area, who understand what are the concerns, who can understand from an application for a new media project what's important and what's not.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah.